So on Amaro Voice, we have a rubric called Learning Romani Language.
Learning Romani language.
Where we like to share with our guests in our different dialects 3 words compared from English to the dialect. So I just want to ask you to introduce again how was the name of your tribe and also the name, the kind of Sinti dialect you speak.
And I know some people would not agree, but I personally think we Sinti speak our own language, different dialects, and my dialect is called Wittenbergaria Dickes.
Okay, so I speak the Adli dialect. It's a dialect from the mostly speaking from the Balkan countries, like example Kosovo, North Macedonia, Serbia, North Greece, and also now also in Western Europe because of migration from the Balkan wars. So I would like to ask you, how do you say in your dialect for red?
Loles.
Okay, it's interesting. So we say lolo or loli, so it depends on.
But
Is
well, that's tricky because Lolo is male, Loli is female, but
Exactly.
Loles is neuter. You don't have a neuter.
No, we don't have.
Okay, we have.
That's okay. I didn't knew that. That's interesting. So now
Yes.
people can see how diverse the languages can be.
Yeah, we have a neuter. It's Loles. So if I don't have a masculine or feminine word coming, it's just Loles.
So the next word is apple.
Pabi.
You say pabai.
And you know what? The words who are same in Sinti and Roma language are mostly from India because you say pabai, I say pabi, and in Hindi it's pal.
Yeah, of course, because the Sinti and the language and also the Roma language, they have their origins from Sanskrit, which was Romani, Romanes, and also many other languages part of Sanskrit. So of course we have it's because of the
it's a
roots
basics.
from India. Yeah, the basics, exactly. Like example, Italian, Spanish, and French have also very similarities in their language. And then the next, so we have also phrases. So how would you say, how are you?
Hajala.
Okay, so we say Sarhian.
Okay.
So also would like to ask you to speak about, because many non-Sinti and non-Roma people, in our term, we would say gaje, because it's the word from the community for people who are not part of the community. So sometimes they ask how we can learn the language, but it's also kind of critical to not teach them the language, and because our language is, even if our people want to teach the language, but just for our people, because it's kind of safe space. So can you explain also why is it critical to know it, and why we don't, many people, I say now we because I speak for many people who don't want it. There's also some who want it, but I speak for them who don't want. Why the people then in that case don't want?
First of all, why would someone as a Gajo or as a Gaji want to learn the language of the most discriminated people on earth who don't have our own nation, Sinti and Roma? For what reason? For what benefit? That's the first question I have to Gaji people who want to learn our language. Secondly, you can actually learn and study the Roma language, Romanes, on certain universities. Even some Roma don't want that, but it's possible. For Sinti, it's more tricky. I don't know if you say tricky in English, but in German we say it's more complicated, it means. Because Sinti are more closed. It could be a benefit, but could also be a disadvantage, as you want to see it. We don't want that our language could be learned somewhere. because of the history. In the past, it was like that. When Gaje wanted to learn our language, it was just to persecute us better, because they could understand what our secret plans were. And so they could destroy our secret plans. For example, if you want to rescue ourselves from a dangerous situation, they could hinder us because they could speak our language. And they also tried to learn our language. The Ziganologist also of the Nazi regime, Sophie Erhard, Eva Justin, Dr. Robert Ritter, Hermann Arnold, and many, many more, to get closer to us. And this resulted into the mass murder of Sinti and Roma in whole of Europe. And I say it always, 90% of the German Sinti have died. Yeah. Because the bureaucracy was much better in Germany. And also many Muslims have helped the Roma people in Albania, for example. But the Christian church has not helped the Sinti or Roma people who were Christian. So there's also a difference. Yeah. But I see the topic a little bit different than some conservative Sinti who say there's different type of Sinti. There are some Sinti saying, which I don't understand, we don't need to speak our language because we have German. We are German Sinti. German is our nation. German is our language. Well, I don't want to be that assimilated. No, I'm sorry. No. Next one. I don't want to be our language teach to Sinti or to Gaje. Next one. I don't like that attitude. Because if you don't teach your language to your own people, how can your culture itself survive? We don't have a country. We don't have our own cooking dish style. Because many Sinti, like for example, they like Knäpfli, for example, it's Swabian noodles. Sinti kitchen is either Swabian or Prussian or Hungarian, but not a certain. So we only have our language. And it's very important, in my opinion, to open now classes for Sinti, from Sinti, to educate our young generation their language. And there should not be a standardized version of Sinti language. I know there is already of Roma language. For example, in Scandinavia, they are using that. Also some organizations and associations, but I don't want that. Because each dialect has also its own grown history. For example, my Sinti dialect, you call a window vinetre. And other Sinti, like Biale, Polish Sinti, they say wochni, which is a Polish loanword. Vinetre is a French loanword. What do you say to window?
We say Jama, but in my dialect, we have a lot of Turkish words, so it's the same.
See.
Like when people use German or Polish words, so we have a lot of Turkish words because my ancestors, they lived for a long time in Kosovo, but also in Turkey and Greece during the Ottoman Empire and even before. So, of course, there's a big influence in that.
Yeah, see, interesting. And we say a vinetre because Wittenbergaria are very close to Manouche. Manouche are French Sinti, and we are very close to each other. And that's why we say the French loanword. But my family Schneck also arrived here in Germany in 1844. Family Kreuz, my grandmother's family, they are here very, very early. Much more 100 years more earlier. Yeah, that's why I see it different. It's very important to teach the young Sinti generation their own language.
Thank you. So this was our rubric called Learning Romani Language.
Learning Romani language.